welcome to the Silver Dollar City Podcast, episode 5.
I know, I can't believe it.
We were just like counting, you know what I mean? Eventually we're going to run out of fingers.
I know.
To count on.
We'll run up those numbers. It's great to see you, Cole. Great to be here this morning.
As well. Yes, happy harvest. And holy smokes, I know we like kicking off the podcast. Well, first let me say thank you to everyone listening, whether it's on Spotify or Apple Music or maybe watching on YouTube. We've got some fun little things for them to look at today here on our table. They always do such a good job with that, giving us some fun props. And but wow, to start things off with Silver Dollar City news.
We have some pretty big news.
Holy cow.
Huge news.
I mean, I dare to say it's the biggest news we may ever handle in our podcasting lives.
I know. Let's talk about it, guys. So the big drum roll. We have announced a Silver Dollar City resort.
Oh,
woohoo! I need like a big grand applause happening behind.
People, I mean, I hope everyone has heard, you know, at this point by the time of the release, but because I know it was everywhere. Yep. But Silver Dollar City is launching a resort on the 1,200 acres, or building a resort on the 1,200 acres just west here of Silver Dollar City. And how cool is it? We kind of got a little preview of the information like before it went out to the public. It's something they always do here.
Yep. They announced it to the employees first. And it was just so neat to see the pictures of what the resort's going to look like, getting on Facebook, getting on social media, and seeing all the posts. It's really exciting. Just the visual out there. I am a big fan of the Ozark Mountains, you know, growing up here.
What a view.
It's like a painting, you know?
It is.
It's a painting out there. And hearing the train whistle from the land, just something just so peaceful. And I think that's what I'm most excited about, is just seeing how they tie it all together.
And don't you feel like what we now know just opens us up to the greater unknown too, right? I mean, the announcement was, you know, $500 million over 10 years was really the announcement, including the resort as the first piece. So like, we still have so many great announcements, I'm sure, to come in the next few years, like about what is going to fill in the cracks and crevices of the Ozark Mountains there, you know, between here and the resort. But yeah, the pictures of the resort, it's beautiful.
It is.
You know, I remember after the announcement, I went home and I brought up YouTube on the TV, you know, and it's the same video that I hope, you know, our listeners have seen, you know, floating around on social media and stuff, which was so fun. And I showed it to my kids. And of course, they immediately were like, you know, they just like mouth drop at the total, right? Like they don't even have a full concept of like what that investment will mean, you know, for the Ozark Mountains here. But they were looking at the picture and they're like, oh, is that a pool? And oh, is that, what is the bridge thing there? I was like, well, I think that's a mini swinging bridge. It's going to be there, you know, as they try to tie in the, you know, the love of Silver Dollar City into the resort and the history of Silver Dollar City into that land and into the resort. You know, it's just going to feel like a sister property for sure.
Yeah,
you know?
So neat. My husband, we watched the video last night as well, again, multiple times, because it's just such a great video.
Yeah, I feel like you missed something.
Right. I know, you feel like you can catch something new, but just seeing it up on that hill and overlooking the roller coasters in the background, we thought that was really neat.
Oh my gosh, I know. Back to what you're saying too, like aside from the photos or the, you know, kind of renderings, I guess you could say, of the resort that they showed off, like just the views. You know, I mean, we enjoy beautiful views here. Looking out the window at the Culinary Studios is beautiful, but then the views that are going to be from there and the tops of these coasters, we are so blessed to live in the Ozark Mountains. It's such a beautiful area. That'll be a real addition.
We are. Everything's a Bob Ross painting.
That's
what I say.
It really is. Well, silverdollarcity.com/resorts, I think, in case this is breaking news.
Yeah.
Someone listening, you can check it out and see the photos that we're, you know, talking about. But yeah, wow, huge announcement. From Silver Dollar City, and more fun announcements to come.
Yep, yeah. I can't believe it. But, you know, following that huge news, Silver Dollar City has released a little bit more about kind of what's next year, what's going to happen in 2025. I got to see a little bit of that on our some social posts as well.
Yeah, that's right. Like just like a week before we made the huge announcement, which is what, 2026 potential opening for the resort, I think is what they said. We got a whole year of fun in between now and then, and season passes are already on sale for 2025.
I can't believe it. I can't believe we're already nearing the end of 2024. But some of the things I saw on there, a new drone show coming
Yeah.
Which, how neat is that? I don't even know how that would work. I don't know how you would have hundreds of drones in the air. I'm really excited to see that and see how it works.
Yeah, that is the coolest part about like season passes for the next season coming on is we get to kind of a little preview, you know, on social media and stuff. There was like 12 posts in one day about all the fun coming for next year in 2025. And like, I have seen little like parts of drone shows, you know, where the drones are all together and they're making logos in the sky and I think this is going to be in conjunction with fireworks. Like we're still doing fireworks and drones. And
That's
it's
amazing.
all moving down to the plaza, which is getting a whole refresh next year, which
That's
I thought
great.
was a cool part of that announcement too.
That's great. And I think, are they connecting it all? So like, will folks be able to go from Fire in the Hole through the plaza?
Listen, I mean, that may be above my pay grade. I don't really know exactly the connection there, but I know the plaza, if people, probably go down there for pumpkin dance party in the pumpkin plaza. And my impression is that's going to be open all the time, right?
Yeah.
Like sunshades down there and a full-time stage for live music. And that's what we'll do the fireworks and the drones and everything. So
all fun for families. Lots of partying happening down in the plaza. I'm also excited. I saw the umbrellas hanging up over.
Oh, yeah, like an umbrella sky kind
Yeah.
of thing. Yeah, I saw that
so
picture.
neat. That's something I'm really excited to see. I think that'll be a really beautiful visual. I love our lanterns during Harvest Festival and our bells. So I'm really excited to see
And
the Parasol Sky.
isn't there a new Wild West show?
Yeah,
I mean, I know there's like a bunch of new shows for next season that they've announced, which is super cool, for our show lovers here at Silver Dollar City. But the Wild West one had like a little clip in the one of the pictures or videos that I saw, and it looked really funny. Like
It does
really,
look funny.
Yeah, like kind of slapstick, fun,
Right.
Western,
Wild
humor.
West comedy stunt show. I mean, I feel like that, talks about the Ozarks, Silver Dollar City all in one. So I'm
It
really,
does.
really pumped to see that next summer.
And I think in the spring, a new one of the other announcements was the Spring Expo. We're kind of revamping our whole spring festival for next year.
Yeah,
So
brand new festival. That's exciting. I'm excited for all the colors that come with spring and just to see how vibrant and beautiful that will be. And it'll be here before we know it, which is crazy.
Well, let me tell you, I think our social team has been working around the clock because if you haven't heard about what's coming in 2025 with season passes on sale, if you haven't seen the resort information yet, like, holy smokes, go scroll through our social feeds because there's been a ton of information released over the last, 10 days, week, I mean, whatever here.
Right. Exciting stuff.
A lot
every
of
day,
stuff.
every moment. So.
Yeah, a lot of stuff to take in. And I think, one more headline, I mean, we could make it a headline if we wanted to, is that we're just days away now from an old-time Christmas. Where's the year gone?
I know. Old time Christmas. Christmas starts early in Branson.
It does.
And I love it. I'm ready to sing Jingle Bells by July because that's halfway to Christmas. So, but I can't believe it. We are days away. I'm so excited for all the fun that Christmas brings. But we had a great visit with one of our master craftsmen, Sean Watt.
Preparations are underway, right, for an old-time Christmas. And Sean is our master craftsman at Hazel's Blown Glass. And, we got a chance to hang out with him and watch him make a feature for old-time Christmas. One of the best products or most popular products, I guess, for an old-time Christmas. So check it out. We're here at Hazel's Blown Glass. Hey, Maddie.
Hey, Cole!
We they let us out of the Culinary and Craft Studios. We're trying not to fall in the oven.
Yep.
Right?
It's nice and warm in here. The fall weather has fully kicked in.
I know.
So it's nice and toasty.
I was telling you, I thought for the fall episode, like the October episode, I would like kind of wear a hoodie or I'd be all cozy. And then we walked up here and everybody's like shedding their jackets, It's like, okay, don't need that in the blown glass shop.
Right. That's right.
Well, we are in for a little bit of a treat today. We're on location in Hazel's Blown Glass because we have a very special guest.
Yes, we do.
Sean Watt, our master craftsman.
Hello.
In Hazel's. Hey, Sean.
How you doing, Cole? Hey, Maddie.
Yeah, how's it going, Sean?
Very good. Very good.
So we're in your house here today.
Yeah.
And, for those of you that may not know Sean, he's going to talk us through a little demonstration today, and we get to just kind of find out about Sean, right?
Yeah.
Just ask him some fun questions and get to know you a little bit. How long have you been our master craftsman here at Hazel's Blown Glass?
I guess about 11 years.
Wow.
11 years. I've worked at Silver Dollar City for about 15 years
Okay.
altogether. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's great.
today we're making some snowmen. It's fall. But
that's Silver Dollar City fashion. You know, we
we got to, you know, we put up lights in July and we put up snowmen all the time, really.
That's right, right.
So,
You know how badly I wanted to walk in here and ask Sean, do you want to build a snowman? Is that,
that's very fitting.
that's all.
It is,
I'm out,
yeah.
Pete. Never mind, I won't
Yeah.
sing anymore. Sorry.
it's a few years old, you know, a little out of date maybe. But
Oh, sorry, I'm dating myself.
So, Sean, walk us through the process, you know, of creating these snowmen. You know,
yeah,
what's it
these
like?
the snowmen are great. There's a lot of things that go into it. I think with a lot of things we make, you might make a vase, you might make whatever, and that can be a little abstract. People don't know what to expect. But when you make a snowman, everyone knows what to expect. So like that's a really great demonstration for a lot of our guests, kids especially. Everybody knows what we're building and all the pieces that we're adding into it. So when I'm making one of these, you know, it's gonna, you know, starting with a little bit of molten glass, which is what I've just picked up.
He's so casual with molten glass.
Right.
By the way.
Yeah.
Like I love how he's
Just
like,
a
twirling
little
that thing
dab.
around.
Yeah. How hot is that? Would you say?
Okay, so when I pull the glass out of our furnace, it's 2,130 degrees.
Woo.
Yeah, and kind of hear that noise. That's me starting the first bubble. Just have a small amount, kind of like what I would start a Christmas ornament with. But I can't get all the glass that I need, so I'm going to go through and get a couple layers of it. That first layer is when I put on the white. That's kind of like the main body. Here in not too long, we'll be adding the colors for the scarf, the hat, the nose, all that sort of thing.
Wow.
Look, Sean, I know there's a lot of chemistry that goes into this, like how to get the molten glass to do what you want it to do and
Yeah.
the color and stuff, but tell me how much of the skill is about blowing bubbles?
Blowing bubbles.
Yeah.
There's very little skill in blowing the bubble, actually. Anybody could blow the bubble. Anybody.
I mean, it's not easy teaching a child how to blow bubbles,
That's
right?
right,
There's an
that's
art
right.
to it. There's a
Yeah.
gentleness to it. Like,
Yeah.
Is that any similarity that we can draw to just blowing normal bubbles or no?
You know, I think it's easier than blowing bubble gum. It's like blowing through a straw. If you can
Okay.
blow, it's like you blow bubbles in chocolate milk or whatever. Like that's all you really got to do.
Okay.
You just got to know when to do it.
Right.
And that's the
Okay.
thing. So it can feel kind of like starting a new balloon. You know that feeling in the beginning.
Yeah.
But then once you kind of get used to it, and know what to expect. Once the bubble started, it's like a whisper of air. Like you're really putting in very little pressure, much less than a balloon.
Now, if you kept like blowing into it, would it just keep expanding, or is that something that you have to keep the pressure?
Yeah. Now if you keep blowing into it, it'll keep expanding and more until, you know, it kind of loses control, and then it would maybe fold up on itself or something. So at this point, that first layer had cooled down, and then I went back in for another layer of glass. And this will be really all the glass that I need
To make an entire snowman.
to make an entire snowman. Yeah, it's it's really thick. There's a small bubble, probably about the size of a golf ball,
Okay.
and then the whole mass of glass is maybe the size of an orange or something, a little bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so when we have that amount of glass, I'm going to inflate it. I have a mold set up, and that mold we made, you know, specifically for these. You don't need the mold. With all of our stuff, the vast majority of it, we don't use any sorts of molds to it. But with snowmen, we want that really definite shape, and we want to make them similar each and every time. So like, you know, people come back, they kind of build a family of snowmen, and we want to ensure that if they come back this year, next year, 5 years from now, that they're all going to be really similar, because it's really easy to get away from that size range if you're not careful.
Okay, so can I just point out too, I think this is a good time to tell everybody, we of course are in Harvest Festival
Right.
here at Silver Dollar City. So when I walked in, like I saw so many beautiful pumpkins and I mean the stuff, I saw one big glass candy corn out here, like just beautiful
Acorns.
stuff that's in shop right now. But we're starting to make snowmen because of course Old Time Christmas Festival kicks off in November. How far in advance, Sean, do you typically start working on Christmas products?
That's a really great question. I'm going to have to pause for just 1 second here because I have to use this mold.
That's so neat. Yeah, I noticed too at Christmas time. I mean, you can't keep the snowmen on the shelves. I come in and they are flying off. They are a very popular item. Oh, look at it! You can see
Yeah,
the
right.
snowman
Yeah.
shape.
So in and out of that mold, what was that, like 5 seconds? You know,
Wow.
and you know, my mouth is full at that point, so I can't do much talking because it's just a quick 5 seconds of pressure,
Yeah,
and that bubble fills up the inside of the mold, and then I have the snowman comes right out, and then I just do a little bit of touch up. You know, it doesn't come out perfect, so I'm here and there. Now, your question was, when do we start preparing for this?
Yeah.
Really, it's when do we not? You know, it's like all the time.
Sure.
We are working on. We're always ahead of the game with the seasons. You know, we make things one at a time. So, however long it takes to make that snowman.
And you know the ins and outs of supply and demand, and
Yeah.
how many you sold last
Yeah.
year, and what do you kind of need
But
to
I
make.
think the unique thing about our place at Silver Dollar City is that you might have a family come for Christmas. They might come in July this year.
Yes.
And they still want a snowman. They're still thinking of Christmas no matter when they come. They can't make it.
Yeah.
So we do have a demand for Christmas things, fall things all year long. So we try to keep at least some. Yeah, you mind?
I mean, you're right across the street from the Christmas shop. I mean,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
goodness, yeah.
Right, people are Christmas shopping all year.
Okay, now Sean's playing with fire
You can
and
edit that out,
multi-glass
right?
at the same time.
It made me nervous when the snowman kind of started.
It started drooping
but
a
he
little
just
bit.
flipped it over. It was no big deal.
Now, I have a small rod of black glass. You might hear the torch. And that torch is melting a small rod of black glass. And I'm using that
Oh my goodness.
to start dotting the eyes.
It's amazing, like the artistry that goes into creating these snowmen. And I mean, Sean, would you say this is one of the most popular items sold at the shop?
Yeah, most definitely. It's definitely one of our most popular items. Between that and the fall stuff, I think really people identify with it just to like decorate a home. You know, have a special something. You know, you might have a special vase, but you know each and every year this is going to work for you.
Yeah.
Wow, so just like with a few touches of dripped molten glass, I about said lava.
Yeah,
Not
it looks
glass.
like lava.
It looks like lava. He was just like adding the eyes and the buttons to the snowman and stuff. Sean, would you say you've always enjoyed playing with fire, even as a child, or?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, okay, a little bit of fire over there.
Before I was a glass blower, I was training to be a welder. So it was like
wow.
I was always
fits.
in the that area of melting things together, and
Putting them back
so this was
together.
a good transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
So tell us a little bit about you. I mean, how did this come about? You know, how did you become our master craftsman at Hazel's Blown Glass?
Yeah, great question.
Yeah, so I learned how to make glass before I came here to Silver Dollar City. This is kind of, I guess, how I got the job. But I grew up next to an artist named Jerry Catania. He was a glass blower, and so I was, I guess, 17 when I found out about it. My mom had bought me a weekend class with him just to see if I liked it, because she thought it was pretty interesting, and I really loved it. So I think I took a class or two, and then I was like, I think I need to do this, and so I asked him for a job. And so with my little bit of welding experience that I had, I was useful. I could help fix things, and like there's a lot of welding projects in a glass shop usually. So from there, you know, I had a little glass making experience, and we came to Silver Dollar City, me and my wife, newly married, came on a family reunion trip to Springfield. We went to Silver Dollar City.
Just on vacation, kind of. Just
On
see what it's all
yeah,
about.
on vacation. I never heard of Silver Dollar City. I'm from Michigan. My wife and I were living in North Carolina, so far away, and Silver Dollar City wasn't, you know, a thing for me. Now Tim over here, he's helping me out. He's bringing over our scarf. That's the next step of this. So once I attach it, it sticks, and then as I
The hottest
wrap
scarf I've
around
ever
this
seen.
glass, that forms the ribbon that is the scarf, and I can cut it free and then decide what I kind of want it to look like. So when I came to Silver Dollar City that first time, just, you know, of course you make conversation with the glass blowers that were here and say, yeah, you know, I know how to do this. I learned in Michigan. They're like, hey, we do have a summer position open if you want. And you know, young, responsible people me and Brittany were at the time. We didn't have jobs. We had just gotten off of a long honeymoon. We traveled around the world a bit, and
Perfect timing.
Yeah.
Sounds like to me. I don't know
so
what you're
it was perfect timing. And we said, yeah, let's do it. We'll try it out, and maybe it'll be 6 months the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And so now it's been about 15 years.
Wow.
So
really
basically,
stuck.
you came on vacation to Silver Dollar City, and you just have never left.
Never left vacation. Yeah,
Never
it definitely
left vacation.
definitely feels
Finally.
like that,
Yeah, finally. That's so cool. So I've seen you going back and forth to. I was about to use the word kiln, but tell me the right word.
The furnace. Our furnaces here.
Furnace, okay.
Yeah, we just use them to reheat. That's the one I'm in right now. This furnace that I reheat in is about 2,400 degrees.
Wow. And
So-
does the glass cool so quickly that you kind of have to keep warming it up to maneuver it and work it?
So like
Okay.
I don't want the glass to be moving and bending as I'm building up this snowman or whatever I'm making. I want it to stay above 1,000 degrees. It'll crack
Okay.
if it drops below that. So that's
Yep.
what I maintain. Tim is helping me out. He's bringing over the additions of glass. The scarf is on. He's been building up some glass for the hat. And so he's got that now in front of me, and he's letting that glass drip onto the top of the head. And so it's just a big ball of orange glass right now. It looks orange, but it's actually black. So it's just so hot.
Well, and I just want to remind everybody, of course, I know people listen to the Silver Dollar City podcast in different ways on Spotify and Apple Music, but you can watch on YouTube.
Yes.
We're definitely showing off the demonstration on our YouTube channel at ozarkly.com today if you want to check out the snowman that Sean is making. And of course, here at Hazel's Blown Glass, too, you
Yes.
can see all the snowmen. But it's so crazy. I know you've seen it a million times, but the idea that you are dripping hot glass onto this piece just continues to blow my mind every time you do it and I see it drip. I'm like, wow.
Right,
Yeah, I know.
seems specific. I mean, how long does it take to master something like that? Have you guys had a lot of mistakes when building things or, learning new
Yeah,
items?
it's everything is just narrowly away from a mistake.
Right,
It is
that's
just,
what I would think.
Yeah,
But maybe it turns out like
you're
a-
right on the verge of it, and that's actually kind of the best place to be. You try to work the glass very, very hot, and kind of what I've found in making glass is if it's too cold, it's not going to do what you want.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, you kind of get to that close point where it's maybe a little out of control, and then it really starts to do what you expect it to do. So you have to stay in that little, uncomfortable area of is it going to fall apart, or is it going to break, or is it going to melt on itself?
Yep.
Right.
And that's a really good spot for glass, apparently.
Man, and I also think about just the hand-eye coordination that you've had to master, to do this. And how about, not all master craftsman glass blowers, I assume, have to talk while they do it. We pride ourselves on our craftsman demonstrations here at Silver Dollar City.
Right.
But tell me about that. Did that take some getting used to when you came here?
I think you can be a really good glass blower. You can have a lot of experience, but that is another learned skill
Here
to
comes
all
the nose.
this. Here comes the nose. So Tim brings over a little bit of orange glass. This time it's going to stay orange. He had added those colors, and then I cut it a couple different times to create that carrot nose.
Okay, so now this may be over my head, but what are you adding to change the color to the glass?
Great question. So we have colors of glass. Imagine a painter with a palette of paint in front of them.
Okay.
We have scoops with finely crushed up glasses. So it looks like colors of sand, and we take clear glass, the ones that we get out of the furnace, and then we roll through this crushed up glass, whether it be orange or blue or black, and then we now have that color in the glass. So we can, so it's very similar to painting in that way. There's other ways, of course, to different color techniques and things that you might do, but that's kind of the main one.
And do you guys add anything once it's finished? I noticed some of your pumpkin pieces, or they have almost like a glitter or a, what is that?
Oh yeah, no. So that's also glass. So we can kind of talk about that chemistry just for a second. It is different metals that are added to glass that make colors. And so that on our pumpkins, it has a really shiny metallic finish. This is a glass that's made with silver.
Okay.
So when you hit that silver glass with the right flame, the silver plates the surface. So that's been one of our more popular pumpkin designs. I think it's a really nice,
Yeah, they're beautiful.
sparkly sort of look to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell me about the tools you're using too. Like I've been thinking that this whole time. Like these are not things you can go buy at Menards, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you
In most
making-
instances, these are things that you're not going to find at any local hardware store.
Are you making these tools? Are you fabricating your own stuff?
A lot of it, you know, again, that was a helpful skill for me to learn, that
As a
welding
welder,
and the
yeah.
fabricating. Is we do build a lot of our own tools. We do make a lot of our own stuff. There's some standards. There's a few ways that we can purchase some main glass blowing tools right now. Tim is ready to catch the snowman that I've been working on. So you hear the quick little tap with
Just
a score
kinda
and a tap to the
base.
rod. It breaks off. Tim has it in a pair of tongs, and he places that on a puddle of molten glass. That is going to be the base for it to all stand up on. He positions it. Right now, you're against the clock. If we take too much time in this area, it'll crack and break. So
Okay,
now
sure.
we have to transfer it over to our annealing oven, and this is a 900 degree oven.
Okay.
So still really hot, but this is where glass is done moving, and it's going to cool down overnight for about 14 hours.
Wow.
And that is what allows glass to cool without cracking. If we leave it out here, it cools too fast and it breaks.
Okay, so one
Yeah.
snowman is about a 14-hour plus, 15 hour.
Yeah, I'm not messing with it for that time,
Yeah.
but you know, it might take 15, 20 minutes to make any object. If you spend a lot of time on it, you know, you can spend as much time as you want, but all together, everything has to cool down slow enough so it won't crack and break.
Wow. So how many can you guys make in one day? How many
One day, you know, we make a lot of different things in one day. Well, partly because these annealing ovens, we have to fit it all in. And so if you make big things, and it doesn't take a lot of time to make like necessarily like a plate,
Yeah.
it takes up a lot of space. So I might make 4 plates in 2 hours, and then your day's done because you can't put it in the annealer. So you have to make, you know, a little section for ornaments, maybe a section for snowmen. You know, we might make 20, 30 items in a day or something
Wow.
like that, and then we're either time has run out or space has run out.
Okay, so Sean, I have a problem bringing home too many coffee mugs in my
Oh,
house,
do you?
right?
Okay.
It's hard to find space for all of them.
Yeah.
Do you ever bring your work home with you? Is there blown glass in your home as decor, or
Yeah, I have 3 kids and 2 cats, so
not a lot of glass?
there's not a lot of glass sitting around. At least not like anything grand as of yet. I have a few things that I keep over the years that I really enjoy. I felt like it was some sort of like benchmark of time to me,
Okay.
and that usually stays packed up. Maybe someday it'll make its way out. But the things that I do have are usually like cups, things that I'm
Okay, sure.
drinking out
Yeah.
of. I think
Yeah.
those are really fun. So that's actually one of my favorite things to do is like if I have a new color pattern or something, I'll make a cup.
Okay.
Because,
so that's your favorite
try
item.
it that way?
You know, it's always not a great answer for the question. You know, it's just like I make cups. That's my favorite thing to
Well,
make. But it is something that I do
practical
get to
use.
interact with a lot.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So and it's a quick thing to make, and it's a nice way to practice on things. So they're fun things to drink out of. I always enjoy that.
And is there a piece that maybe at some time in learning the craft that you really messed up and you thought, I'm hanging on to that? Like, is there
like something
a leaning
cracked?
snowman or something cracked or a cup that's wobbly or uneven or something? I mean, any...
Okay, so I think most artists would say this: if you put something that you've made in your home, you can't stop staring at it. So it's
just
like the
bug you.
thing. Like I might like it now, but in 2 weeks I might find a problem with it. You know,
Right,
and like I
right.
hate looking at it. And that's a good thing because it means you're like progressing and like your skills are getting better and you see the minute details and things.
I'll bet your mom has a few of those. Then.
Yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
Yeah, right, come on.
Yeah.
Mom signed up for the first class.
Right.
You know,
Oh
she's
yeah.
got a few
Oh, they're a little
intro-
lumpy. They're a little sideways.
I love
Yeah, it's a good thing to have that first piece and something current, like right next to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of to follow that question, has there been any item that you guys have been creating through the years that has kind of been a mistake that was like, oh, that's actually kind of cool. Like we might add that to the shop, or I mean, has that been?
happened by accident.
Yeah, happened by accident.
Yeah, I don't know. There's probably been several instances of that. I mean, like I said in the beginning of this, like you're always on the verge of a mistake. It's how you adapt in the moment to that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, absolutely. Like, oh man, that like say like even the snowman, like, oh man, that was a lot more glass that I wanted for the scarf or the hat. Okay, so this is a good one. It's just like one time I think we got like a way too much glass, or the scarf was really wide, and I covered up the mouth of the snowman. Well, all of a sudden it kind of looked like this very cute little bundled up
cozy.
snowman. And we're like, man, that's pretty good. Let's do some of those on purpose.
That's
you know?
great.
So
How do you know? And we won't take too much more of your time, buddy. But how often do you like innovate and come up with new products, new items? Like, are you always kind of thinking about that year to year, or I mean, I know it's probably a lot just to keep up with what people love. I mean,
daily. I'm always trying to find a way to make something new and different, even if it's in the middle of the season and you're trying to reproduce this item over and over again. I think that's what our team is really good at, is like, well, let's do this a little different. Let's find a new thing for this. And that way it doesn't get monotonous or boring. You're still making a new thing, making a new skill, and definitely for the people that are here often, that they're going to be able to see something different and not the same replica over and over. Yeah.
It's amazing. I mean, we sure appreciate your artistry, and
Thank
we know
you.
our guests
True
do
artists.
as well.
Yeah.
Do you have
Thank you.
anything to say to like those young ones out there, or maybe first-time glass blowers, or people that are wanting to get into craftsmanship?
Oh yeah, I love watching people make things, anything. Especially like this festival is like one of my favorites because they're all the crafters on Park. I love walking around. I love watching people in their craft. Something like just to watch anybody be good at something is fascinating. And so for people that are getting into it, you're just starting out drawing. It's just like, just start with something, and you might find something you really love, like I did. And you draw, maybe you work with clay, maybe you work with something else. And I think the point is to just make something with your hands.
Yeah. Well, I know people have enjoyed watching you make a snowman today.
Yes.
Those, of course, are coming up for Old Time Christmas. Is there, if someone has never been here before, just kind of as we wrap up, like if they've not been able to come to a demonstration here, Hazel's Blown Glass is open every day. The park is open.
Yeah.
What's just some general information for people that might be coming for the first time this Christmas, just to come watch you guys do what you do?
You'll watch. Definitely ask questions. Like we get that a lot, and we love answering questions. It's kind of why we're here. I get to talk at you for however many minutes you sit around. But if you want to know something, we would love to talk to you about it.
Yeah, it's an open forum. You guys do demonstrations all throughout the day.
Yeah.
Okay. Hazel's Blown Glass. Well, come say hi to Sean. Sean, what an honor. Tim, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Tim.
you, Sean and Tim.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys letting us be here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming in.
Okay, that was my first time being up on that platform there at Hazel's Blown Glass. I mean, I've
warm.
been, as a fan, just watched demonstrations. Yes, it was very warm.
It was warm.
And be honest, were you a little nervous how casually he was working with molten glass? I thought that was
Right.
so cool. Like, it's no big deal to him. And I'm like, whoa.
Looks like hot lava. And I mean, the way that it bends, and if you guys haven't had a chance, I know a lot of folks out there listen to us on
Yeah.
Spotify. So if you get a chance to check it out on YouTube, there's a lot of great visuals with
true.
just how they make it and watching the glass bend and how quickly it can change. I mean, that was what was so neat to
Yeah.
me. I mean, how he had to act really fast, but he had to keep it at that perfect temperature, not too hot, not too cold. It was really interesting.
Sean is truly a master craftsman and
He
a
is.
really nice guy, by the way.
Yeah,
And he
wonderful
loves
guy.
his coffee, so we have that in common. That's what I found out. And back to what you're saying, watch on YouTube, go to ozarkly.com, however you can check the visuals out of watching Sean make this snowman. I got word right before that they literally brought the snowman in here
I know, how cool.
that Sean made while we talked to him, which, by the way, it didn't take that long.
No, he did that very quickly.
He totally did. And all right, now you get a chance to really see his face, see his. I mean,
beautiful.
should we name him? Like, what do you think? I'm saying him. I don't know. It has to be him.
I mean, what would you give him? Like, what name would you call that guy?
Well, here's what's funny. I mean, Frosty, right? You think of all the traditional snowman names. You know what? I like this with pets too, though. Sometimes, where people name pets like human names,
right, like Fred, or
can he be Bob?
Yeah, Bob.
Bob the snowman, or I don't know.
See, I was thinking like Frosty McFreeze. No.
Okay, you win. Frosty McFreeze. Yeah, if you
But
add
still.
the McFreeze part on there.
Bob Frost.
Bob McFreeze.
Bob McFreeze.
Bob McFreeze.
That's
There's
his
our
name.
I like it. Bob, welcome to our table. Thanks
Yeah.
for being here.
But beautiful. A beautiful piece of art. I know that those are really popular throughout the whole year. My mom loves them. I love
Yeah.
them. And just how creative and how amazing our craftsmen are.
It's amazing. And, they don't just do festival pieces, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's stuff all throughout Hazel's Blown Glass that's worth going in and checking out. And they do demonstrations pretty much every day. So we really appreciate Sean putting up with us on the platform, letting him work his craft while we were there, barraging him with questions and just kind of having a fun time. So that was really cool. I'm glad we got to give people kind of a sneak peek into that world.
Me
there.
too. And get to know him as well, finding out that he came down here on vacation and never left. And he still feels like he's on vacation.
I
So
know.
how sweet is that?
It's so sweet.
Yeah,
It's
we're
so
grateful
sweet.
for you, Sean.
Well, I think the only thing left for this episode is Maddie's mailbag.
Oh, yeah.
You got anybody that hit you up?
I do. So we got an email from Sarah, and
Okay.
she reached out and she said, "Hey, Cole and Maddie, I've been loving the podcast so far, and I was just a little curious about your set props."
Oh my gosh.
Yes, she asked, "Are those items from the park, and how do we pick out what we want to display?"
I didn't even realize we were given a preview there. Bob, yes, came
Bob
from
McFreeze.
Bob McFreeze came from Hazel's Blown Glass. Probably. I mean, if Sarah's emailing us, she probably saw last episode, which I think we had some pottery stuff that time, right?
Yes, we did. We had some jack-o'-lanterns, and we had one of our little boos, and those are from the pottery shop. I love those. I think I mentioned in the last podcast that those are the only decorations I have at my house, and they're awesome. You can do
Yeah.
you can put a little tea light in them, or you can just set them out. I mean, they're truly works of art. And yeah, so we have our awesome production manager Coulter Comstock, who sets this place for us. We are so grateful
He
for
does.
him, and makes it really festive and shows off some of our beautiful craftsmanship from around the park.
Yeah, good eye, Sarah.
Yeah.
Good catch there. I mean, yeah, I think sometimes maybe it's just, seasonal or fun decor from around the Culinary Studios. But yeah, like the last two episodes we've featured some pottery items. And this week, it's all blown glass. This stuff all is things they make down at Hazel's, right?
Yeah, really beautiful stuff. Tom the Turkey, we got Peter Pumpkin, and Bob McFreeze.
You just named them all.
Yeah.
Wow. Just like that.
Yes.
Goodness gracious. Okay. Well, very cool. Well, hey, Maddie's mailbag is something we try to do every episode each month. So you can email us, ozarkly@silverdollarcity.com. We're open to your questions, your feedback about the podcast, other craftsmen you'd like to see us interview or showcase, or, just, ask us anything. We're happy to have your feedback. And this is always fun coming down to the Culinary and Craft Studios and doing another episode, Maddie. It was awesome to see you and hang out and get to go to the Hazel's Blown Glass this episode. I mean, how fun was that?
Yes, so much fun, guys. We love our listeners. We love everybody involved. It's, like Cole said, such an honor to sit here and just talk a little bit about an amazing place and the amazing people that make it what it is.
And I'm sure the word Christmas will be mentioned in the next episode because we mentioned earlier an old time Christmas is coming soon. So hopefully you'll come back and spend time with us again because you certainly